What is going on, Chaotix? Welcome back to the PDL Season 3, Week 2, Team Builder for the Virginia Escavaliers. Guys, we are ready to come back after our loss last week and hopefully gain ourselves a win this week. Trying to make us an even 1-1 going into Week 2. Again, we're looking at top 4 for playoff seats because we will have 4 teams playing in the playoffs. So once we just got to hit top 4s, so let's get some wins going on, and we'll have a great week for that. But this week, again, that's the team on the left there. You can see them up here, all these Pokemon that I have on my team. That's what we have. But our opponent for week number 2 is none other than the Rhode Island Raticates and Coach Neurotic Neutral Gaming. His link is there on the screen. I will also put it in the description of the match tomorrow, so make sure you do check that out. But he is rocking with a Volcarona, a Mega Venusaur is tier 1s, and in tier 2 he's got Fortress and Thundurus. Tier 3, Araquanid, Umbreon, and Comfey. Tier 4, Toxic Croak and Slurpuff, and then Persian Leoloform in tier 5. So what I'm expecting him to bring this week, things that look really good against my team. I expect him to think I'm going to bring Garchomp, so things like Thundurus will be decent against that. Volcarona might be good against it. But I'd also expect him to think about some other things as well. So for his team, I definitely see, I think he has a really good core in Volcarona, Venusaur, and Thundurus. Those 3 probably come. And then the other 3 slots, pretty open for him, but things that would make sense for him to bring. Comfey probably comes around as a nice healer cleric Pokemon. I can see that popping in there. Maybe bring Araquanid as a nice Buginium Z move user. That would be nice. Also get Sticky Webs up, as we saw how they worked against me last week. And then also, for the final pick, I really don't know. It's up to him. I could see... So I'll go with these 6. I'll go Volcarona, Mega Venusaur, Thundurus, Comfey, Araquanid, and I'll say Umbreon, just because it gives you a nice tanky boy in the back. So I primarily have built the team around the things that are really going to bug me and the things that I'm going to be really fighting against. But this team does have a way to deal with every single one of his team members. It just depends on what he brings and what I'm going to be able to use. So let's take a look at the team real quick before we get too much farther into this video. We're starting off with Jackie, my Medicham in tier 4, coming in this week. Medicham has a really good matchup this week, doing a lot of different things, and this set really puts in the work. I opted for Choice Band this week instead of Choice Scarf, as what you usually see with a Medicham. I need that little bit more power with the band, and I really don't need the speed. The only thing the speed's going to help me with, his fastest things, Volcarona, Thundurus, and Alolan Persian. Those are the 3 fastest things he's got on the team. Everything else is hitting about a 250 speed tier. So running Medicham with 192 speed with a Jolly Nature gives it a 268, just above most of his stuff. I think it barely outspeeds, a max speed Venusaur, so that's something I'll look at. But I opted for a little bit more bulk this week in special defense. He has a lot of special attackers, and that just gives me enough staying power to live a hit from some of his things. So it gives me a hit to stay against Volcarona, gives me something against Thundurus. So it gives me a little bit more staying power there. And then of course we're running max attack. We got to get that power off. It's hitting about a 119 base stat. You gotta add pure power to that too, which pure power is the ability, and boost, it doubles that, so we're already hitting a 400 and something. I want to check calcs now. Give me a second. Time pure power 219. From Choice Band. What is that gonna do? Oh yeah, that does a lot of damage. And I just want to check a calc real quick. Something that makes me something that's gonna be close. So let's try this calc. Yeah, that's gonna be right. So the band gives me just enough power to take on some stuff. This thing moves, running Zen Headbutt, Rock Slide, High Jump Kick, Poison Jab this week. Good coverage with this thing. Of course, I'm gonna run 4 attacks with Choice Band. I thought about running maybe Toxic as like a nice 4th move, but I figured since I'm banded, I might as well go with the attacking power. So what this is going to do, we saw his team already, so what this is going to do against his team, Rock Slide takes care of Volcarona, Thundurus, and Araquanid. Zen Headbutt takes care of Mega Venusaur, Thundurus. Hitmontop and Toxicroak. The question is the speed tier there, and if I want to do that, that's the question. It also can do high jump kick, take out Rhydon, Alolan Persian, and Umbreon. Of course, I am going to be careful about the Umbreon because I know Protect is the usual bring on Umbreon because he usually does Wish, Protect, and Toxic. 3 standard moves, and then probably Foul Play is your actual attacking move. So, gotta watch out for that. And then Poison Jab, of course, for his 2 fairy types in Comfey and Slurpuff. So Jackie, I think, has a really good matchup this week and really can put in some work. I just gotta be careful how I play it. The speed tier is gonna be the fun thing. I gotta work around that. Next up, we have Gertrude on Mega Gyarados. It can also be a regular Gyarados, but it has the Moxie nature this week. I did Moxie ability, not nature. It has the Moxie ability this week because I didn't think wearing down the physical attackers were going to be a big thing. So maybe getting a kill with regular Gyarados gives me a nice way to set up. Sweep with something like maybe gives me a nice way to set up with that Dragon Dance that I got, so I can be a +2 attack and +1 speed. And if I get +1 speed, I outspeed everything on this team. That's the point. We are running max speed and max attack. Of course, that's adamant nature because I want to boost the attack. And then a little bit of special defense, just give me a little bit more staying power. Now, the fun thing with working Gyarados this week is going to be managing the Mega. Because, of course, once you Mega Evolve, you cannot un-Mega Evolve. That's going to be a problem. But also, we got to look at things like, so like Thundurus comes in. Of course, if Thundurus Thunderbolts my Gyarados in its regular form, it's dead. But if it Thunderbolts the Mega Gyarados, I can live. So the question is seeing when I want to Mega Evolve, what does Gyarados come in and bring to the table here? And that's going to be a really good question for this week. Moves, again, Dragon Dance, Crunch, Waterfall, and Iron Head. I thought Iron Head was a good coverage move this week. Again, we got the 2 fairy types out there. And I've actually calced some of this, so I can beat Volcarona not setting up with Waterfall, Rhydon, Alolan Persian, and Thundurus. I can all beat at +1. Iron Head destroys Comfey and Slurpuff both at +1, and then Crunch can take out the Thundurus. But with Crunch, I also have the ability to beat the Mega Venusaur and the ability to beat the Araquanid. Why I looked at the Crunch thing is I looked at Earthquake versus Mega Venusaur. Earthquake does do a little bit better than Crunch, but I figured that I need the Crunch. I need the Iron Head slot. I need the Crunch slot on this team, so I covered the weaknesses. Toxicroak is one thing that I was really looking at right now, and that's what was really bothering the team. So we did cover that in the end of the team, but the beginning of the team was more worried about his big threats. Next up, we're bringing Slime again, Alolan Muck, coming here with Assault Vest and Poison Touch. Move's going to be Knockoff, Poison Jab, Rock Slide, and Explosion. Yeah, we're bringing the boom. Max HP is going to be really tanky at 414 base. That's incredible. A little bit of attack just gives me enough to take out some things. Power creeping some stuff, and then special defense gives me a nice staying power to take some shots. So Thunderbolt I can give you the calc right now for Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt versus a Muck is Assault Vest is 196. Okay, 196 Assault Vest Muck. A Thunderbolt. Stab attack, 252. It's doing under 30%. That's what I like to see. So Muck can be a really good asset for me to take some shots. That's what it's going to be working around this week. Moves, it's got Knockoff, Poison Jab, Rock Slide, and Explosion again. Explosion's a really nice niche to have in this game. It helps me deal with things that I couldn't deal with otherwise. So it gives me the ability to beat the Umbreon from half. Actually, I think it's about 60 to 70% I can just take out with Explosion. I can OHKO the Toxicroak with Explosion from full, so that's great. And also Explosion gives me a nice little niche if I come across something that I can't really do anything else with, and Muck just needs to put some damage on. Explosion gives me a really good opportunity to do that. Of course, it does mean it dies, but you know, it might be worth it later on. Now let me get through the rest of the stats. So HP is maxed out, attack 60, get me a little bit of speed creep, a little power creep, and special defense at 160. 196. Of course, we're running Adamant Nature to give that attack power a little bit more of a boost, which is going to be awesome, and we're going to destroy with that. Next up is Death Wish, the Garchomp. Now, I really was trying not to bring Garchomp this week. I thought Garchomp had a decent matchup to bring this week, but I figured he was going to play me around that. I really was worried about that Thunderous with Hidden Power Ice, since it does outspeed me, and I'm not running Scarf, so that's something. But we are running Assault Vest, and that does give me a little bit of staying power here versus this Thunderous. So the Thunderous cannot OHKO me with Hidden Power Ice. I don't think it actually... I don't think... This is the big worry here with my team. So Thunderous suffers from lack of move spots. You only get 4. So I could see him. The typical set is like a nasty plot, but we saw last week that he was running sub. He was running sub nasty plot, Thunderbolt, and then another move. We didn't see the final move. I think this week he definitely brings Hidden Power Ice. So that means Focus Blast isn't coming, which gives Muck another ability to fight Thunderous with. I also have another Dark type in the back that's going to be coming that could fight Thunderous if it doesn't have Focus Blast. So I don't think Focus Blast comes. I am kind of hesitant about a Thunder Wave, but this thing doesn't. I don't think it puts in enough work. It puts in enough work, I think, without the Nasty Plot, so I could see like a Thunder Wave coming instead of Nasty Plot, and maybe he gets rid of sub and brings Focus Blast. That would be a weird set. I mean, it could come, but I don't know what I see with this thing. So I wanted to cover all the options, make sure I had different things to deal with everything. So even if he does have Thunder Wave, we set up with Gyarados +1. If we get +1 and we come in, we can just take it out. And that's the point. So we have enough power to take it out. So even if he does Thunder Wave with Gyarados, I can just, boom, he's dead. Waterfall or Crunch, I believe. So back to Garchomp here. So we are running Earthquake, Stone Edge, Brick Break, and Fire Fang. Of course, Assault Vest. Again, this week I wanted a little bit more staying power. We get a little bit more of that special defense because even with HP Ice coming off, even with an Assault Vest on, it still does a crap ton of damage. Because this thing is just powerful. And Garchomp has a terrible special defense stat. I mean, look at it. It's 85. And it's 4 times weak to Ice. So, duh, it's going to hurt like crap getting hit like that. But we can live 1. It gives me about a 70 to, like around a 65 to an 80 roll there, depending on what it gets. But we will have Earthquake to deal with some of the power. Just a nice stab move to have. Stone Edge comes in handy against like Volcarona. Also gives me a way, so like if I can live a hit from the Thunderous and I can just Stone Edge to kill it as long as it hits. That's another thing. Stone Edge is going to be a really risky play this week, but it's got to hit. But Garchomp's going to be able to take on a lot of things. It beats Volcarona right on Fortress with the Fire Fang. I wanted to bring Fire Fang because I needed something to take on the Fortress with, just in case. It can beat Thunderous and it can beat Toxapex, so... Not Toxapex, it can beat Toxicroak. So it does a little bit of niche stuff. It wasn't the best bring this week, but I didn't really know what else to bring. The first 3 I had solid, and the rest I wasn't sure about. But Garchomp seemed to make sense. I can bait in some things with Garchomp too. I can bait out the Thunderbolt with from Thunderous. So Garchomp made a little bit of sense to bring for me this week. Next up is Maximus the Jirachi making its debut in the league. Coming in here with the Stealth Rock set this time. Stealth Rock, Psychic, Moonblast, and Thunderbolt. Again, if you look at the rest of my team here, physical, 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 physical. I was trying to wean away from the physical side. I know they use a lot of specially defensive Pokemon, but I was trying to get away from that a little bit. But Jirachi makes a lot of sense for me this week. Of course, Serene Grace is going to be a great asset to the team, boosting everything. It gives me a doubling on the special, on the extra effects. So like Psychic has 20% chance to drop special defense. Moonblast has a 30% chance to lower special attack. So that might be something we use later on. And then of course Thunderbolt, we get a 20% chance to paralyze. This could be really good. And then of course Stealth Rocks. I think Stealth Rock is really good this week for me. I was hesitant to bring them. I thought about it early on. Nidoqueen was one of the things I was throwing in and out of the team. And I thought Stealth Rocks made a good choice for this league because it goes 50% on Volcarona, which gives it a nice ability for any of my team members to come in and just bop it. It does give me a stable way to deal with Thunderous here because Thunderous will take 25%, and then pretty much every member of my team has a way to hit it for at least that much damage. Or just tank a hit and dish it back out, one of the two. So I thought Rocks was nice, and then it also gives me a little bit of chip on some calcs that could be a problem as well. So like maybe helping with that Mega Venusaur that's pretty bulky, dealing with some of his bulkiness. So Stealth Rocks will give me just a little bit of chip damage that might give me a better roll and ultimately a win. And that's going to come really in handy for my next Pokemon. So then we got for the set, running a little bit of HP, didn't think it was too necessary this week, and then we're running max specials. So special attack and special defense. That's primarily for Venusaur. This thing really takes it on pretty well. If it doesn't bring a grass type move, it actually stalls it pretty nicely. 2-hit KO with Psychic, even if it does get up Leech Seed, and even if it does have leftovers Leech Seed, we are able to 2-hit KO it with Psychic. So that is something to deal with. But otherwise, Maximus takes on the Fortress as well with Thunderbolt. That's a really weird calc, but it does, because it resists the Gyro Ball from the Fortress. But it can take on the Fortress. That's something. It can beat Thundurus, actually, because Thunderbolt is a 3-hit KO on Jirachi because of leftovers. So, literally, it's a 3-hit KO with leftovers. So I have just enough bulk that I can take it on, and then I believe Psychic is about a 2-hit KO, so we would be able to actually take on Thundurus. It's not my favorite thing in the world because we would be getting hit for most of our health, and that's why I put a question mark beside it on my calcs. It does beat Comfey with Psychic, Hitmontop, of course, with Psychic. It does fight Araquanid, and this is one of the big things. I think Araquanid does well against my team, and I didn't really have a lot of coverage for it, so I thought Thunderbolt would be a really good move for this thing, and I can kind of lure it out with Jirachi a little bit, so Thunderbolt would be pretty good there. You can beat the Toxic Croak because it's 4 times weak to Psychic. I could put negative IVs. I could have 0 IVs and no EVs and probably still take it out. And it also beats the Slowpuff hand to hand. I opted here for no Flash Cannon because I thought the Thunderbolt coverage was nice and gave me an opportunity to deal with the Araquanid, which is going to be a problem for the team, so I gotta watch out, see what he brings. And last but not least, we have Modest Nature, so I can boost that at special attack. Last but not least, we have Absol bringing its one and only debut to the league because I did trade it, but I wanted to get at least one shot. I didn't know what to bring here. I had 1 slot left open, and I don't like the shot actually. I had 1 slot left open. I thought Absol would be a good bring, so I decided to bring it for the one and only time this week. And I gotta say, it does give me some nice little niches. So I kind of like what it's playing as, but the replacement can do the same thing, only better, and it gives me a spinner as well. So if you guys don't know, I traded beginning of this week. I traded Absol for Hitmonchan, so I could have a spinner. And I had something that, like, I wanted Absol because it did a lot of good work, but I also had some other things on my draft, and so I didn't pay attention to me needing Hitmonchan. It does give me 3 fighting types, and that sort of is a problem, but it's not really big of a problem for me. It does. I wanted the spinner. I wanted the power up from the punches because he does have Iron Fist. So I think it's just going to be a better choice than Disaster. But Disaster's going to bring its work this week, try to bring its payload, try to make a bid for itself for the other teams out there. But we're bringing Play Rough, Psycho Cut, Night Slash, and Sucker Punch. We're bringing all attacks. I really did think about putting Toxic on this thing, even Taunt for the Venusaur, but I decided against it, and I wanted to bring this thing to give me another way to beat the Venusaur. That was something I wasn't really countering. I think Venusaur has a really good matchup in any game because Thick Fat really makes it hard to fight around. So you really got to have a good, really strong, like Glass Cannon Psychic type or Glass Cannon Flying type to take it on. I was looking at the counters for Mega Venusaur, and it says the best one is Talonflame, and you know, Kiwi has that, so that might be a good thing for him. But let's talk about this moveset a little bit. So, of course, Play Rough is there to help me deal with those Dark types and those fighting types that are going to be coming in on me. So I can take on 101, take on the Umbreon. I can also do it with the Persian as well, but I'd rather not, honestly. This thing also beats Mega Venusaur, and that's why Psycho Cut's there. The Night Slash and Sucker Punch just give it a nice little bit of niche options. This thing pretty much dies to almost anything else. I was debating on where to put the final 196, as you can see. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. And I still don't have, I think I put it in HP, actually. So we're going to give it HP. I might change it around again. I might look at some counts. But it does give me a little bit of staying power. I can live a hit or two, but really what we're going to be relying on this week with this moveset is Super Lucky. I decided the other abilities look cool, and I like them a lot better, but I think a Super Luck is really nice, and as you can see, I'm running Night Slash and Psycho Cut, both of which have high critical hit ratios, which gives me really nice. And then I have Sucker Punch and Play Rough just because I need coverage here. And if they also get the crit, that would be awesome. And what Absol is going to be primarily running this week, it's going to be my Trash Mon. If I need to dump something real fast, that's what it's going to be for. But also it gives me a really nice revenge killer. Sucker Punch, for most things, does enough. So it's like a stealth rock almost that always is going to hit first. So one of the reasons this really makes sense is because Death Wish, if it does get these Stone Edge up on the Thunderous, and it lives somehow because the calc is like 90 to 110, something like that. If it does live and it does kill my Garchomp, I can bring in the Absol and just pop it in the face before it does anything to me. Of course, it does one-shot me with Thunderbolt and Focus Blast, so that's something to deal with. But I wanted to give Absol a chance. I think it works really well. Even if we lose this week, it's not a big deal. Again, we have how many more weeks left? This is week 2 of 11, so actually it's like week 2 of 10. So we need to start getting wins, but you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. I think we get an easy win next week, so just rub it into his face a little bit, right? I think we get a win next week. I hope we get a win next week, so we'll see what we can do. And that's going to be the team for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. Also subscribe, because you're going to want to see the battle tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So you're going to want to come out and see that. But hopefully we pull up a W. It would be nice to win. Our opponent is 1-0. We would like to win. I'd like to have a nice shot, a nice stable standing in the finals, and not have to really work there at the end of the season to try to pull back some wins. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching. Check out some of the series in the channel. There'll be some videos popping up on the screen. Check some of them out. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you again for watching. Until next time, my name is Chaos May 006, and I'm signing off. Bird it up.